years, kind of stepping forward and taking charge. Um, but I never hear what FEMA, the services that they actually provide that actually really help people out, or Salvation Army does to actually help people out, or the Red Cross does to actually help people out.
Well, the Salvation Army, their prices is real high. We donate our clothes to them, and they put big sky price tags on them that we didn't even pay that kind of money for them. That's number one. Number two, the Red Cross. They, people donate to them, but I haven't seen anything that was sufficient enough to give to the communities. Bring their monies. Your monies is needed. Your dollars is needed into these communities, so that these people can get back on their feet. Bring your monies. Come into the communities and ask what is needed. Whether it's furniture, excuse me, whether it's furniture, supplies, whatever it is, bring it. Excuse me. I've had a cold. So this is what's needed. And then we can see what you're doing in the communities.
So how's FEMA been?
Well, FEMA stayed in one location, MCU. They gave out supplies, but by the time our people got there, the supplies was gone. They stood on lines for 4 and 5 hours. I think that was extremely too much. We had a 90-year-old lady that stood on that line and passed out. And I think that was extremely too much. You want to take that off?
I'm gonna. I just want these to be good pieces. Any coughs and all that stuff,
Oh, you get it out.
Take all that stuff out.
Okay.
So, there are other communities are gonna get hit, whether it's a tornado, another hurricane. How would you advise them in terms of how best to prepare for a disaster, and then to be able to kind of deal with the after effects, knowing that FEMA and these other organizations may not come in and be worth their salt to help?
This is where the families come in, that you have to team up. You might not like your mother-in-law or your cousins or your Aunt Bessie or whatever, but Aunt Bessie and your mom-in-law and everybody else, mom and them need to be letting y'all come in, and y'all just make it the best thing that you know how. I would encourage them to really get together and stop fighting over a can of soda or a plate of food, or who did this, who did that, because God provides enough for us to partake. And you just gotta have to team up. Those people who have lost their homes, who have swum down the street and had collapsed, those people need to be loved. After the fact, they're going to come to realize that they have lost everything, and they have some memorable things that they will never ever get back. So they need to really be loved. They need to be secure, and they need to be told that it's going to be all right, and that you're going to have to grow from this. I was watching the news where they had lost some antiques or whatever the case may be. But you know what? You were able to say that you lost those antiques, but you didn't lose your life. So guess what? Your life is more valuable than the antiques that you have, because you can always purchase another antique if you got the money to do so, So.
Great. So if I could, I need to have you kind of introduce yourself. So if you can say your name, first name, last name, and then spell that out, and then just tell the audience who you are and what you do, so that they know as we lead into this conversation, who you are and what you're all about.
I'm Deborah Carter. I'm the Resident Association President for the Graves and Houses in New York City, in Brooklyn, New York. I've been a resident leader. I've been in Senate Association since 1988. Long time coming. I'm also the secretary for the Brooklyn Council of Presidents, and the 9 COP chairs for Brooklyn South. And I'm also the pastor Apostle Deborah Carter Taylor of the New Life Worship and Praise Ministry of 412 Pulaski. And the head apostle there in my church.
And if there are folks who see this film, when folks see this film, what would and if they're interested in supporting you and the community here, how would they go about doing that?
Send your donations to Graves and Houses Resident Association, President Deborah Carter, 3144 Bayview Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, apartment 6D, Brooklyn, New York, 11224. Let me say that again.
Yeah, just take it from the top.
Graves and Houses Resident Association, Deborah Carter, 3144 Bayview Avenue, apartment 6D, Brooklyn, New York, 11224.
Awesome. Any final thoughts or suggestions that you'd like to share?
Well, we need help in the Coney Island area. We need to get our feet back on the ground, and we're asking the people to help us at large so we can get back that our children I'm sorry.
That's all right. Take your time.
But our children will get back on their feet. Our kids are the schools, they're in different locations, and they're trusting, just different. A lot of kids, they don't understand what's going on and what's happening, and they're afraid that this is going to happen again. So send your letters of support, send your donations, send what you can to the Coney Island area so that you can help people. And always remember that when you help somebody, God will help you. When you give, God will give you back tenfold. He will give it back to you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, that you will not have room enough to receive.
Amen.
Amen.
All right. Thank you. That was awesome.